Beth with 50 Plus Beauty, and I'm so glad you could be here with me today. I'm actually very excited. As many of you know, this is a brand new channel. I've been around, maybe about 3 weeks, but this is the very first time that I'm doing a giveaway. And this is what I'm going to be giving away. Actually, this is mine. I got this over the Christmas holidays, but I will be giving you a brand new IT Cosmetics, I think it's called the Holiday Kit, but it's got basically everything you need to do a face, except maybe like a mascara and a lip pencil and a few little things like that. No eyeliner here, but it's all of the other things. And it's just a really, really great little kit. And I saw a review of this. Noelle, who I love, she did a review of this, and she's very knowledgeable about cosmetics. And she said, you know, some of the palettes will come out and it will be inferior products. But she really was familiar with all of these IT products. And she said that, you know, it's the same thing, just in a palette type form. It's got everything you need, from the highlighters in a cream and a powder form to all of these, what are they called? They're called Naturally Pretty Eyeshadows, which are the same ones that they sell. There's a pressed powder, and there's a sunshine in a kit, I think. Sunshine in a, what do they call it? Sunshine in a compact is what they call it, which is your bronzer. Sorry about that. And then it has 4 under eye concealers, from very light to dark, which is good. It kind of takes care of anybody in that way. And then it's got 3 different colors of blush, and all of these lipsticks, and they are the IT Cosmetic lipsticks, you know, that you find in a tube there. So it's a really neat little kit, and it all kind of folds away like this into a nice little box. I'm not going to shut the box really, because I have learned on YouTube that the minute you shut something or don't open it before you start is the minute that you spend 3 minutes trying to open the thing on camera, which is not good. Okay, I will go ahead and show you how I apply these cosmetics. And let me tell you how to enter the contest though. And the contest goes all through the rest of April of 2017. So all you have to do, you have to be a subscriber. The contest goes all through April. Anyway, okay, let's get ready doing this little IT kit. And I will tell you, in the interest of time, I went ahead and got my foundation on, and I did use the Bye Bye foundation, which is a 50 plus SPF, and I really like this foundation. This is a travel size. And I used the Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer, which they have several different ones, but I like this one. And I'll tell you a couple of tips about what I've done so far, because I've gotten that on and I put a little powder on. I put on some lid primer, and I'm finding lid primer to be an especially important thing, because as we get older, not only are my wonderful lids crepey, but they kind of turn different colors, like reds and blues and greens, all kinds of wonderful colors, which you don't want except maybe in eyeshadow. However, I am learning that neutral is better even in eyeshadow for us grown-up girls, at least for this grown-up girl. The Smashbox Photo Finish Liquid Primer. And so I basically put that on my eyelid, and I did use my fingers to pat that in. Basically, let's see, what will we do first? Okay, I think let's just do some blush first. So I think I'm going to choose this center color here. I'm just going to go in with this center color here. And I have actually just a no-name blush brush. And I will be having a video about brushes, because for those of you who know me, I have been buying a lot of brushes lately. And some of them are really, really good. I bought a big Sigma brush kit. And I've got some e.l.f. brushes that I really like. Basically, I bought a few MAC brushes. And I will end up telling you in that video my opinion of all those brushes. But, you know, in a nutshell, my opinion is there are some good brushes in every line, including e.l.f. And, you know, some brushes that I go to. Looks pretty good. You know, I think I like to do blush first after foundation, just because it kind of wakes your face up, and so you don't have to look at a dreary person when you're doing the rest of your makeup. I think I'm going to use my Sigma foundation brush for the highlighter. And so basically you go in with a little bit of the cream highlighter, and we're just going to put it in a couple little areas just to give some light above the cheekbones. I really have decided that in terms of highlighting and contour, I like the highlighting better than I like the contour. It seems like when I do the contour, I end up with a lot of brown spots all over my face, and I don't usually realize it until I'm on my way to a meeting, and then I happen to look in my rearview mirror and go, ah! Anyway, just do a little highlighter down the nose. Kind of helps to do a little bit on the Cupid's bow, just to give you a little bit of a fuller lip, which I'm always kind of working on lips. And I always like to go a little bit of highlighter right here, because you kind of want the feeling of the sun hitting you right there, or some light right there. I like that. And I learned something else, which I'm experimenting with, and I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But you take a little bit of that cream highlighter, and you're gonna go just on the outside of your lips, the outside actually of your top lip, and apparently it gets rid of some of the darkness there and gives you a little more emphasis on your lips, which is good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the Cupid's bow a little more like that. That's pretty dramatic. And I have this trusty brush wiper thing. I'm not sure what it's called. You actually can wear it on your wrist, and it's a cool thing. I love it. I got it at TJ Maxx. I found it for like $4.99. And what you do is you take your brush that you just used, and you just kind of wipe it off, and I do it on the other side, every which way. And what I do is every morning I wipe all my brushes, and then before I go to work, I just run this under a little bit of water with a little bit of soft soap, and then I just, stand it up and let it dry, and by the next morning it's dry. Okay, so there's a little bit of highlighter. Well, let's go ahead and do some eyeshadow. Generally on the lid, I am liking, and most people do, a nice bright lid color, because as we get older, our eyes get a little smaller and they look a little darker, and it kind of helps bring light to our face when our eyes are kind of accented in that way. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with this little color that's right here on the eyelid, and I'm using just a basic e.l.f. brush. And the lid brushes always kind of have this shape, which is kind of a flat shape, but it's tightly packed because you want to use that to put some color on there. So, and the important thing about these brushes too, about doing your eyeshadow, which I've learned, and it really is important, is to always tamp that off. Because if you don't tamp it off, you get a lot of product overflow that ends up on your cheeks, which isn't good. It makes a mess. And too much goes on in the wrong places. You can't really control it. But I have noticed that it really does make a prettier eyelid application to always tamp your brushes off before you apply that powder. Now we're going to go in for a transition color, and I am going to use, this is a MAC brush, and I just ordered it, and it's the 221, and people rave about this brush, and I have to say I really do like it. So in terms of transition colors, you don't want to go to the super dark color. You want to do kind of a mid-range color. And so I think I'm going to go in with this little orangey color right here. And basically you roll your brush around and make sure that you get a lot of good product on there and tamp it off. And then you're just going to go in kind of a windshield wiper motion up above your crease, because especially as we get older, we have a little bit of a hood generally, and you want to have the illusion that your crease starts higher than it really does. So you just do that, and then you go in on the other eye, and again tamp off that brush. It's important to do. I really do like this MAC brush. This is a very nice brush, and it kind of, it's a little bigger maybe than what I used to use to do my crease, but it kind of almost functions as a little bit of a blending brush too. It's funny about colors. I'm learning right along with you guys, and I've really been watching a lot of makeup artists on YouTube and whatever, and they will talk, they'll pick up a palette with what I think are really, really dreary looking colors, like this, for instance. I would have always thought like the peaches and the orangey colors, I would thought, I didn't like those colors really in real life, and so I never was attracted to eyeshadows that were those colors. But what I'm realizing is that eyeshadow is a different beast than just like the color that you would want in your room or whatever. And that eyeshadow is truly eyeshadow. It's not necessarily, when you put eyeshadow on, it's not really to pack a bunch of color on there, although the young girls do that, looks great on them. But in terms of my grown-up status, and maybe your grown-up status, the idea is to do eyeshadow, where you end up with shadows, which are just very subtle, but that open up your eyes and brighten your eyes and kind of just make you look all over a little better. Okay, now I'm going to wipe off that brush with my trusty brush wiper, and then I'm going to go in with, and it is a Sigma E30, which stands for eyelid 30, I finally figured out. Okay, and what I'm going to do is go into a color that I would have thought was really horrible a few years ago, but I'm going to go into this sort of rusty color right over here, and we'll see how that works. And basically that color is going to go, and again tamp off the brush, It's going to go a little bit in the outer little triangle of your eyelid. We'll do it on the other side too, just to give some depth. And really, it's a darker version of that transition color, really. Maybe it has a little more brick to it, but basically that's how that looks. Then we're going to tamp off the brush again, and I'm going to go in with that same color, that kind of bricky orangey color, and deepen in a little bit out here. And then come down. There we go. And Sugar Puff and Stuff, I cannot remember her name, and I love her. Oh my gosh, I love her. I'll put her name down below. I'm having a menopause minute. But she says to do like a little 7. And what she means by that is to take with your third eyeshadow color, like this is the upper part of the 7, and then to go straight like that in your crease to give a little more drama to the outside. A little more drama, never hurts. But the drama is not really done with color, it's really done with shadow, which is kind of a cool thing. Okay, so got that on. And now what I'm going to do is just get a little blending brush, and this happens to be a Sigma tapered blender, which is an E40, just a basic brush. And a blending brush just is kind of splayed and kind of not as densely packed as like a lid brush. And then you just kind of do a windshield wiper motion. Okay, we've gotten kind of the upper eyelid done, at least fairly done. And now what we're going to do, normally in the past, I would come in with pretty heavy, chunky eyeliner down here, and I love navy blue. And I'm trying to get myself away from that, and I'm trying to experiment because I think it gives you a softer eye not to go in so heavy with the eyeliner. So I am going to go underneath the eye. Oh, there it is. I found it. It was trying to get away. But basically what I'm going to do is go in again with that, maybe with that sort of dramatic color, which is that color right there. Right there, just a little bit of the dramatic color on a little tiny brush, and this is a small e.l.f. brush, and I really do like this brush. It's nice. You just go in under. You can kind of hold the lower lid if you want, because you're doing kind of a little bit of an eyeliner with the eyeshadow, and you don't have to go clear in. Really, sometimes the outer, 2/3 is just fine, or even the outer third. Okay, that looks pretty good. We're getting kind of nice shading going on. Now, the next thing we need to do is do some lining on the eyes. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to use this a little bit on the lower eye line as a waterline, and this is the Anastasia Pro Pencil in Nude. I don't know where the name is exactly, but so you just do the waterline right down here. Give yourself a little brightness. And we'll do it again on this side. And I prefer nude on the lower line instead of white. I used white for a while and it just looked a little out there, a little bit too white. Okay, now we are to the point that we're going to do mascara. And I've already done my brows because that's long and boring. Actually, for me, it's not long because I've got hugely furry eyebrows that are dark, and I just put a little gel on them usually. Here we go. But I do love this. This is my little Tweezerman mascara comb, and it's metal. And if you don't have one of these, oh my, this is one of my HGs. But always clean it afterwards because I have another friend on YouTube and she ruined hers by not cleaning it because it got too chunky and she couldn't repair it. And I did not bring my eyelash curler into the kitchen. Darn, I love my eyelash curler. And it's a Tweezerman too, and it is beautiful. It works great. And this is the IT Cosmetics. It is Hello Lashes. That's how that looks. Hello Lashes. I hope you can see that. And I don't know. I've not really used this mascara, but we'll see. And always start at the base of the lashes because it almost should be a little bit of an eyeliner effect if you do that to thicken it up. And it has this funky little ball thing on top, which is supposed to like help you, I guess, get each little lash straightened out if it's heading off on its own beaten path. So you just kind of do that. I'm not sure that I love this, but this doesn't come in your free kit anyway. So this is actually just a little travel size. And I'm gonna use my little Tweezerman comb And actually, the nice thing is, unlike plastic, you can comb from that side, and it really does make them look much nicer.
There we go. Now I'll do the other side. Yeah, I'm kind of a CoverGirl lashes girl. I like the CoverGirl lash blast volume, which I can't say. But I just really like that mascara at this point. But it does seem like every now and then, you'll be going along, you really like something, and then you'll find another one you like better. But at least at that point, that's really what I prefer to use.
And I'm going to be trying a new lash product. Actually, I ordered it from Amazon, and I'm going to do a 30-day test before and after because I use Bimatoprost or whatever. It's called Careprost, and it's a generic for Latisse, but it's sort of starting not to work as well anymore. Over here, there's big clumps of my lash line that have no lashes. And then you put this down here. So I will test that for you and let you know, because it was the highest rated one I found on Amazon that was the least price. I think it was $30 as opposed to some of them that are like $60. So just kind of. I'm also going to be doing a video. I know that's not sanitary. Sorry Mary Ellen after 60. She's a nurse and she would see that and go, tisk, tisk, tisk. I'll use alcohol later, I promise. Who says tisk, tisk, tisk? I'm showing my age because I think that was somewhere long ago. I know the young people would think that was a silly thing to say, tisk, tisk, tisk. Anyway, okay, let me see. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Okay, now we're gonna do lips, but there's no lip liner in this kit. So I'm using my old trusty Revlon Color Stay in Mauve, and I have used this sucker for years, and I like it. And I'll tell you a little tip. For those of you who are lip challenged, which I hope you're not, because I am, and it drives me crazy. The Derma Rolling Super is helping though. I mean, like super. If you're lip challenged, you ought to see my video because I got befores and afters, and it's crazy amazing how well that Derma Roller works. And actually a little bit of brown down here will make the lower lip look larger because it'll look like you've got a shadow there. It's so big that it's casting shadows.
Let's see, where was I going with this? Where was I going with this? Okay, I always like to fill in the lip liner. Huh, that's so weird. I totally lost what I was going to tell you. I think it's kind of important.
Okay, so I've got the lip liner on there, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to be daring, which is always scary when I do this and I've never really done it before, but I'm going to use this bright pink looking color, and it is called It Girl. And it is a lipstick again that is in the store. You can find it at Ulta, and I'm just going to use my fingernail. It's kind of a pretty look for spring. That is something I'm not used to, is a pretty look for spring, because I used to wear very dark lipstick like burgundies and wines and browns like year round, and I really was looking old, like the Crypt Keeper. I mean, like that old. It was bad. And it never dawned on me that all that dark lipstick is quite aging. So you older beauties out there, or more grown-up beauties, it's time to lighten up if you can and get out of your comfort zone and try to use a little bit lighter color sometimes. So, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll just do a little bit of this Airbrush Perfecting Powder, because it is IT Cosmetics. And I kind of like this. Basically, when you do powder, it's important. Really, when you get older, you don't want powder all over your face because you get that Crypt Keeper look again, which isn't good. But just in the T-zone where you're oily and where you have those, sometimes I've definitely got huge pores like craters, and so that helps kind of null them out. So anyway, I am so happy to be through that, and I'm so happy to spend some time with you all, and I wish you could all win. And I plan to do a giveaway every month because, you know, heck, why not? I just think it would be fun to give away a little something cosmetic, a little cosmetic treat each month. So please keep coming back. Please subscribe and make your comment in the comment section. All you have to do is tell me what kind of videos you like. And in the meantime, until I see you again, I hope you feel confident and happy and realize that this day is important and that you are important. Make this day the best ever. Take care.